Greetings everyone, my name is Simon Sedmak and I will be presenting the paper whose title you can see here. The goal of this research was to numerically simulate fatigue crack growth in welded joint specimens through different regions. Since fatigue is an important factor to consider when analyzing the behavior of various structures, the investigation required a detailed approach, including experimental work in order to obtain results which would be used as input for the numerical simulation using the finite element method. The most important results were the Paris law coefficients C and M obtained by fatigue tests which involved pure bending of standard Sharpie specimens. The materials used in this case were P460NL1 as parent material due to its specific use in pressure vessel applications and VAC65 as the filler metal due to its favorable mechanical properties. Mechanical properties needed for the ANSYS simulation were obtained from tensile tests for parent material and weld metal, whereas in the case of heat-affected zone, these results were determined based on Vickers hardness test results. A total of 2 Sharpie specimens were simulated with 5 models, since in one case the crack passed through heat-affected zone and the weld metal, and in the other it passed through all 3 zones. Initial crack lengths were defined as 0.1 to 0.2 mm due to ANSYS requirements for the models of zones where the cracks initiated, top of the notch. In the case of zones into which the crack later propagated, the initial crack length was equal to the total crack length from the previous models. Total crack length of all zones for each specimen was around 5 mm, corresponding to the experimental length. Paris coefficients were determined based on crack growth rate versus stress intensity factor range curves. This was done for the specimen as a whole and for each segment of the AN curve with noticeable changes in slope due to microstructural differences. The latter were adopted as representative for the numerical models. Here we can see an example of crack growth rate versus delta K curves for corresponding segments of the crack length number of cycles curves for one of the specimens. The table shows the Paris coefficient pairs for each individual welded joint regions. As can be seen, there are noticeable differences in these values for each region. Boundary conditions were defined as fixed on one end after several different possibilities were considered. It was concluded that this was the one closest to the real boundary conditions. The load was applied on the opposite end as a bending moment taken from the tables obtained by the experiment. The moment value decreased over time in both the experiment and the numerical simulation. For this purpose, 2 steps were defined for each load, the one where the initial value is defined and the other in which it would gradually decrease. The number of sub-steps per step depended on the experimental crack length that needed to be reached in each model, welded joint region. Finite element mesh was defined using TET elements, which is a requirement when simulating crack growth in ANSYS. Smaller elements were used around the crack tip in order to improve the accuracy of the model. Of course, the mesh generation process was iterative in order to ensure satisfying convergence of models, as well to enable the crack to actually propagate. Stress intensity factor distribution for the first model can be seen on this slide, along with the numerical crack length versus number of cycles curve. This number of cycles was later combined with the experimental value corresponding to the initial crack length of 0.2 mm, around 130,000 cycles. This was necessary due to the inability to create a model without a crack. Stress intensity factors were lower than average for the models, since this was the initial crack in the first welded joint region. For the weld metal model of specimen 5, total crack length was 2.8 mm and the number of cycles was somewhat lower due to the fact that the weld metal is the weakest zone in terms of fatigue crack growth resistance. Here we have a specific case where the crack initiated in the parent material and thus the number of cycles was significantly higher due to favorable mechanical properties of this steel in terms of fatigue. The crack length in this case was very short, however, and that affected the accuracy of the results in this case. For the heat-affected zone, the number of cycles was lower, despite greater crack length as expected. It had shown good agreement with the experimental results, similar to the other models. Once again, fatigue crack propagation was fastest in the weld metal region for reasons previously mentioned. Stress intensity factor values were quite similar to the final value of specimen 5 models. In addition to the number of cycles, Paris coefficient values had to be modified during numerical simulations. The goal was to obtain models where these modifications were more or less uniform, i.e. where C and M were adjusted by similar factors. Most of the models did show similar trends, but not all. On the other hand, the differences between numerical and experimental results for the number of cycles in each individual zone were sufficiently similar. Models heat-affected zone 5, heat-affected zone 22, and weld metal 22 have shown similar differences in terms of experimental and numerical values of Paris law coefficients, despite somewhat different initial values and different crack lengths. On the other hand, remaining two specimens had shown somewhat bigger differences in terms of C and M, suggesting they were not as accurate. For weld metal 5 specimen, the problem lies in the suspicious value of coefficient C obtained from experimental curves, i.e. inaccurate fitting of this curve due to the first author's inexperience. As for specimen heat-affected zone 22, its very short crack length affected the accuracy, since only a single substep could be defined for crack growth, and it slightly differed in length compared to the experimental one. As an additional way to verify the results, crack length versus number of cycle diagrams were compared to the experimental ones after being properly scaled. It can be seen that both versions are very similar, with the numerical ones having a slightly higher slope and being smoother. This was expected due to the approximations and idealizations adopted for the numerical models. This research involved the development of numerical models which would simulate fatigue crack growth through different welded joint zones. Input data for these simulations were obtained from extensive experimental tests. Numerical modeling included numerous attempts to determine the best combination of boundary conditions, loads, and mesh, resulting in models which had shown good agreement with the experiment. However, experimentally determined values of Paris coefficients still needed to be corrected in order to obtain relevant numerical results. Results for a number of cycles were close to the experimental ones for all models, and stress intensity factors were similar to the currently available literature data. Due to lack of values for this specific case, they can be viewed as relevant literature data themselves. The need to alter Paris coefficients from the experiments represents the biggest disadvantage of this approach. However, this was the first attempt to simulate crack growth behavior in such manner, and obviously it can be improved in many ways. Better accuracy when determining Paris coefficients from the crack growth rate versus stress intensity factor range will aid in achieving of this goal, along with the adopting of better methods for determining of mechanical properties of welded joint regions, in particularly heat-affected zone, using microspecimens. Thus, results presented here should not be viewed as perfectly accurate, but rather as a foundation for future work related to detailed fatigue crack growth simulation, which takes into account microstructural differences in welded joint regions. Thank you for all your attention.